Is a calorie just a calorie?
No.
No. Well, what does calorie mean? Calorie is not energy. Calorie is a unit of measurement for energy, right? It's the amount of energy required to raise 1 kilogram of water 1 degree Celsius, yeah? Okay, so when we're talking about the whole energy balance scheme, we work with that a lot in our profession. Are we trying to lose weight? Are we trying to lose body fat specifically? So when those calories come in, those little units of energy are coming in from packages of carbs, fat, protein, sometimes alcohol, all right? Sometimes. And then they're causing a hormonal system change. Meanwhile, you as trainers can really, during the workouts, dictate if the calories out are going to come from fat, carb, or protein. All right? So I know you've all probably, if you've been training for a little while, you've probably had that client that's been like, hey, I really am eating exactly what you tell me to. I am like to the T eating what you told me to. I'm working out once or twice a day, and I cannot lose weight. Okay? We run into that problem a lot. And usually it's because we are not working out efficiently. So when we're talking about fat utilization, we got to talk about metabolic efficiency. That means that as you're working out, most of the calories you are burning are tapping into your fat storage tank instead of your carbs. So you can do that by controlling the availability, okay, so your diet, one, but when we're talking about incline training specifically, the intensity, the speed, the duration, okay, so you as trainers need to know that. How are you going to ensure that your clients are burning most of their calories from fat? Well, if you know how to do your incline right, you can really help them tap into that fat storage tank. This is not even just applicable for weight loss clients, I just want to say that, because if you're working with endurance athletes, those who want to preserve that like 2,500 calories of carbs they have stored in their glycogen in their muscles and their liver, all right, they're going to want to preserve that for any high intensity like sprint at the end, high climb, whatever. But if they can be using their fat for a little bit higher intensities than normal, because you're training them right on here, that makes you, this much more valuable. So when we're dictating if calories out are coming from carb, fat, or protein, we got to consider how our body actually produces energy. Okay, we got 3 energy producing systems. What are they?
Carbohydrate, protein, fat. Oh, systems.
Systems. Yep. ATP, phosphocreatine. Oxidative.
Heroic. Glycolytic. Lactic acid, glycolytic, however you want.
Yeah, glycolytic. So you've got oxidative, anaerobic glycolysis, or glycolytic, and you have the ATP PCR. Okay? So your body is always using all 3 of those, but one's going to dominate depending on the intensity, the duration, the availability of substrates. Okay? So when we want the oxidative system, because that is where your fat utilization happens, okay, when we want that to be tapped into, guess what has to happen? We have to have a whole lot more enzymes available, so there has to be time for that to happen. We have to have a lot more oxygen available because it requires oxygen to make the chemical reactions happen to burn the fat in the mitochondria. So if you're running like she was here, and say you're going like a 9.0, running, that oxidative system has no shot at really getting a piece of that. Okay, that's mostly a little bit of ATP PCR, probably an anaerobic glycolysis for the most part. Yeah, wouldn't you say? Sugar burning. Okay, so if you're on here doing 21%, 2 to 3 miles per hour, that's when you're going to be burning most of your energy from fat because your body is primed. It has time. It has the oxygen to actually get that specific system going. So you got to educate your clients that, because they're walking, they can hear you. They're not like this. They might be a little pretty tired depending on them, but you can educate them on that. And you've got to, just encourage them, hey, you are doing so much right now. We are tapping and targeting what you want to burn. We're not just going through the cycle of building and eating muscle, because we are tapping into that fat oxidative system.
We just you say it has time, and specifically labor in it, time between muscle contractions, what you're referring to?
Time meaning as far as like minutes. Like if you're running, and you're gonna gas out, I guess you could say, a lot faster than if you're just walking. but also if your body is demanding the energy now for muscle group recruitment and everything like that, then your oxidative system will just mostly be bypassed because that sugar is required then, because the activity is now. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So with that, what Natalie really wanted me to stress was that 21% on this incline trainer is really where you're going to get the highest percent of fat calories used.
What speed?
2 to 3.
2 to 3?
Yeah, 2 to 3. And that's just something I want you guys to consider, because I consider free motion a revolution. I love it. Okay, I really, really do. And I want part of that revolution to be just from my standpoint as a dietitian who has been battling the calories in, calories out, like blah, blah. That is just the grossest like simplification of a dynamic metabolism. That's just not how it should be, you know. There's so much more going on. You got to consider what's going in and how you are helping your clients activate those specific energy systems. And so you can do that on here very easily in a really, I think, approachable way where your clients are going to be scared, they're going to understand it, they're like, yeah, I'm walking, it's slow, but I feel it. Yeah.
I would also, I just want to reiterate, make sure that you heard the side that Mary said when she talked about how you're using your fat as the prime source of energy. You're always using those 3 different energy systems, right? Your body's never only just using one. If you teach it that way, somebody will battle that right away. So just make sure that you're clear on that when you teach that. So it's 21% 2 miles an hour. Fat is being used as a prime source of energy. And what they did was they used a metabolic cart to test that. So again, coming back to the side where these are not just numbers that we're throwing out there. This has all been tested, tried and true.